Kmart Law, we back. It's going down. The resource on the law. It's going down. Got legal tissue trust. It's going down. Any legal need, we guaranteed to hold you down. Kmart Law, we back. It's going down. The resource on the law. It's going down. Got legal tissue trust. It's going down. Any legal need, we guaranteed to hold you down. Verse number 2. Came to say hello. Kmart Law back with another video. Welcome to another video resource. I am Marquel Cade with Cade Mark Law, your favorite neighborhood lawyers. I have a lot of clients that come to me, and sometimes their first question is, do I need a lawyer for this? So today, we're gonna talk about 3 situations or scenarios where you may need a lawyer, and 3 scenarios or situations where you don't. We'll start with the easy ones. Here are 3 scenarios where you don't need an attorney. Scenario number 1, small claims court. In small claims court, there is a threshold on the amount of damages that a party that is suing can seek. This means that in your jurisdiction, each jurisdiction has a different amount for their small claims courts. They can't ask for more than that threshold in small claims court. And oftentimes this threshold is so low that hiring an attorney to help you with the court proceedings, to help you with motions and filings, is not really gonna be cost effective. Another consideration is that small claims court is often very informal. The proceedings are very simplified, and it's one of those situations where you're not going to be in court for days on end or in court for a complex or complicated situation. Basically, for small claims court, it's kind of an informal proceeding. Both sides come to the judge, they tell their side of the story, and the judge decides. The amount oftentimes isn't enough such that you need to hire an attorney because you're not going to be on the hook for that much. Scenario number 2, traffic tickets. Oftentimes, when you get a traffic ticket, and not something serious like a DUI or a possession charge or anything like that that's associated with a traffic stop, we're talking strictly just like a speeding charge or a failure to stop at a stop sign or a seatbelt charge. Oftentimes, this is going to be on you. Oftentimes, you're caught, they got you, you go pay the ticket, you pay the court costs, and you let it go. The only time you may want to consider an attorney for traffic court is if you're going to have too many points on your license after you're convicted for these things. The third situation that you may not need an attorney for is for lawsuits that you don't intend on defending. If there's a lawsuit levied against you and you know you're in the wrong, you know you owe the money, you know that this isn't going to be something that you're going to win given the other party's argument, it may behoove you to just go ahead and take that L. Go ahead and lose the lawsuit. You don't need to hire an attorney to jumble up the court proceedings, to go ahead and levy unnecessary motions, to tie up the process just to be spiteful and prevent the other party from getting something that you kind of believe they rightfully owe. In those situations, hiring an attorney is kind of moot because you're hiring an attorney for no good reason. You know you're in the wrong. You're probably going to have some settlement agreement with the other side that's going to dictate and outline those terms. And in those situations, maybe you want an attorney for negotiations on those settlements, but you don't really want an attorney to help you with the lawsuit proceedings because the lawsuit proceedings aren't going to be something you're contesting. You're allowing that to happen. You know that you're wrong. You know that you're going to lose. And hiring an attorney to defend you in the lawsuit case is just kind of a waste of money, which kind of leads into the 3 scenarios or situations where you definitely do need an attorney. Now, this isn't going to be a catch-all. This isn't going to mean that every single time this happens, you're going to need to get an attorney. But most times when these things occur, you probably will want to seek counsel and seek counsel quickly. For lawsuits that you plan on contesting, get a lawyer. For criminal proceedings that are higher than just a traffic stop, DUIs, criminal offenses, you'll want to seek an attorney. We will go ahead and categorize these scenarios as court situations. Anytime you're in a serious court situation, you probably want a lawyer. And if you're in a criminal proceeding, you will have access to a lawyer through your constitutional rights. Take that public defender. And oftentimes, contrary to popular belief, that public defender is great at their job. They are the ones that are often in the trenches fighting. They have hundreds of cases at a time. And while this does lend itself to creating mistakes because of the volume of cases that they handle, they also are handling a volume of cases such that they have the experience to handle your matter if you're in a criminal proceeding. So basically speaking, anytime you're in court, you want to get a lawyer. You don't really want to ask yourself if you need a lawyer, because if you're in in a court proceeding and you're asking yourself, do I need a lawyer? You probably do. The second situation or scenario where you will definitely or more than likely need an attorney is for estate planning. There is so much that goes into estate planning. It is way more than just where does my stuff go when I die? Because estate planning is so complicated and complex and needs to be customized and tailored to each individual situation and scenario, such that you're gonna need a lawyer to help you kind of parse through some of these things. You're not gonna be able to parse through them on your own. It's a complicated and complex legal process. Scenario number 3, if you're running a business. Now, I separate this from if you're forming a business because there are a lot of websites nowadays that'll help you simply form your LLC or file your documents with the Secretary of State, and voila, you have the business that you wanted. But you need to seek a lawyer to consider what business entity type should you even choose? Are you running the business proper? Do you have the licensing? Do you have the contracts in place? Is your intellectual property being protected? Are your employment contracts covering the things that they should? Do you have a work for hire agreement in place? You want to have an attorney on standby for these things to ensure that your business is running properly. Setting up the business is one thing, but running it is another. And without an attorney, a lot of businesses and business owners can fall into the traps and business legal issues that a lot of our businesses face that we discussed in our video last week. You want to avoid these issues by having an attorney on standby. Have an attorney you trust that you can call and say, hey, I'm doing this for my business. Am I doing this properly? Or hey, is this legal? Or hey, can you take a look at our employment contracts? Or hey, can you take a look at this contract with this new vendor that we want this relationship with? Can you take a look at this licensing agreement? We want to license out our IP. You want to have a lawyer on standby for running a business because a lot of these things are things that you're not going to be able to do on your own. A lot of these things are things you're not even going to consider as the business owner. It's already enough work running the business. To think about all the legal implications that can come with that, it's just way too much for a business owner. You need a lawyer for that. You want to have a lawyer for that and have a good one that you trust, one that you feel comfortable calling or texting. That's all, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been 3 times you need a lawyer, 3 times you don't. We hope this was helpful. Once again, I am Markwell Cade with Cade Mark Law, your favorite neighborhood lawyers. Protect your brand. Grow your business. Stay frosty, my friends. We'll see you next time.